Okay, so we're going to be taking our 0 round and we're going to pull. You can come from the top down, you can go from the bottom up, it doesn't matter. And you're going to put in these little pieces. Then I'm going to turn, and there's only 2 flowers that have this color. Then we're going to start from the outside, and I'm going to pull in these little pieces. This is Dijon. So we're going to use the Dijon, and we're going to pull in these little pieces, and you see that they're going to overlap each other. And the odd one, you come down onto there on this piece, not on here, but on this piece. We're gonna bring the odd little piece down onto there. So I'm just going around with the Dijon and I'm doing these little so you see what I mean by overlapping each other, and you end up finishing with the guys in the middle. So I'm going to wipe my brush. I'm going to pick up the yellow. Now I'm going to turn back to this one, being as he's had a little more time to dry. Maurice, you could be the girl who makes sure that I don't pull it out of the camera view. Thanks. I have a habit of that. I'll be painting way over here and the girls on Zoom will go, could you put that back? So you see that I put some of those, and I will finish with a couple of the brighter ones. Now this guy's going to, when it's dry afterwards, thank you, he's going to have the green lines put back up on top because he's just opening. So the green lines are still there, those green pieces like that it opens to. So I'm still going to wipe my brush because I've got the light yellow on there now. So I just take the yellow and I'm going to start and come back in. Now once you get doing these, each pattern is individual that we've got in behind here, so you're able to pull those 2 patterns out now so you can see if you have it thick enough. If you can see through it too much, then you need to add more, and you may have to let it dry to go back and add a couple more. So you see that I'm overlapping, coming back in with these yellow ones. However, I am still leaving some Dijon showing. We want to see some of that Dijon, and it's giving me depth by leaving some, but I can see where I can see through and see my pattern, so I want to make sure that I get them there. Then I'm going to pick up a little of the light yellow. Now the light yellow is going to stick more towards the center of our flower. Still dirty brush, it's going to blend into these, but you see that it's more like a highlight. That's why we keep it to the middle. So when I take my pattern out, I'll see, and I can see right now a spot. I'll have to go back maybe and put a few more, but we would wait till it's dry. So you'll do these 2 flowers. If you've got a couple of glasses, you'll do those 2 flowers on both glasses. But I would do 1 glass at a time. So do these 2 flowers. Don't go and do all 4 flowers with all the Dijon. By that time, it's going to be too dry. You want it to be a little wet so it can blend into each other. Okay? Thank you.
So that's the...
Okay, so we're going to start with, I have mixed together some gray and white. And I'm going to bring at different places. So what I mean by that is some will start closer to the little greenery part. Crap, I forgot. I even put my mix out here. We've mixed a little of the brown and green, and we're going to put a little bit, just a bit more of that in the center here to give us a little more depth in there. It's basically showing the little pod ends that are going to be on the floater guys. So that's my brown and green mix. So I'm just going to take the liner and I'm going to go through and I'm going to put these little, it's just pulling little lines. Now I have this kind of cramped in here in the pattern. So there will be some in front of that piece of leaf. So I have these and they crisscross each other. That's really important. And then I'm going to take and I'm going to do what we're going to call little V's at the ends. So those are the little bits of dandelion fluff. So of course in the bottom you can't really see if you're getting them on them, but you're just going to see those little fluffs. We're going to be going in and putting white on now. So I'll clean my brush, dry it off, pick up white. And I'm going to pull in some white ones. The very same thing we just did. My white is thicker. And I'll pull the little fluffy guys on the end, the little V's. So you see, when you first do the gray ones, they look almost white, but they're not. The white show up. And I'll bring the odd one coming right over some of that green. So once you get to doing the white parts on there, and you want this guy to look fluffy and fuzzy, so you see the heavier I make that white over top of this area, the fluffier and fuzzy he's going to look. All right, so you're going to go ahead and do that, and once you get to the white stage and you've done white on there, then you're going to come up here and do the little flyaway fluffs, and they've got more little lines coming out from them than just a little V down here. So that's what you're going to do. So once you get up there, you'll do all of those flyaway guys and the guys that are rooted over here. They're just going to be done in the white as well. Okay, that's your job. Go ahead and we'll do that. So what we're going to do is I've got my brown-green mix. I'm using my zero round so that they're a little fatter and they come off the end of the little stem. You don't want to go right up to the piece. You want to have them that they're the little part here that comes down into, you may have to do these ones here in 2 coats. And I'm putting them at different places in that little bud. Different places meaning I can pull them down at different directions. So it's at the end of the little bit of white, so it goes from the greenery to a little stem of white and then the little fluffies. It's good to take the pattern out actually because we have them already on. And if you are doing them on another surface, I could take the brush out of my mouth too. If you're doing them on another surface, pardon me, if you're doing them on another surface, you may want to add a bunch more of those, and there's nothing to do to them. They're just like the little kind of dabbies on the end and a stem, so it's no big deal. But you see, I don't know how I got paint in here. I can't imagine. But you see that they're just a little thing that makes it look like a little pod on the end of the flyaway. All right, so that's what you're doing, and that's with the brown mix. I got tape in my glass still.